Hello, everyone. Welcome to the very first episode of the Real Investing Show. My name is Stephen Earp, and I am with the great Taylor Davis as my co-host. And Taylor, it's good to see you here, buddy.
Good to see you, man. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, me too. So I thought for this just little intro, first of all, wherever you're watching from, thank you so much. If you're watching on YouTube or listening on podcasts, we're just really glad that you've decided to join us. And we wanted to tell you, first of all, a little bit about what we plan to talk about on the Real Investing Show, and then give you a little bit of information about ourselves. And so where do we want to start, Taylor?
Well, let's start with who we are, where
Okay.
we're going, and then we'll get to why you should listen and what we'll
Perfect.
talk about.
Perfect. All right. Well, Taylor, tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get involved in real estate? Tell us about your background and what are you doing now?
Yeah. Taylor Davis, born and raised in Oklahoma, born and raised in Ada, Oklahoma. Lived in Norman now for 17 years or so, which is part of the Oklahoma City Metro. Been involved in real estate for about almost going 15 years now. Run a real estate team at Keller Williams, where we sell over 100 houses a year and help families work with a lot of investors as well.
Yeah.
But my passion is investing. And that's really where I enjoy to spend my time. And I could literally talk about this subject all day, every day. And it's just something that excites me and has been a game changer for my world. You know this, Stephen, but I came from really humble means in Ada, Oklahoma. Grew up. A brief story of when I was 17, my parents lost their house to foreclosure, their $30,000 house to foreclosure.
I don't even know how that's possible. Number one, to have a $30,000 house. Number two, to have a loan on a $30,000 house. And number three, to lose that.
To default on it. And I never shared this part with you. That was in 2004 or 5. So we're talking about like at the top of the market. It's not like it was in a crash.
Yeah.
But anyhow, from there, I just that gave me the drive to want to be an investor and really change the course for our generational wealth. That became a big drive of mine of like, hey, I'm going to change this for my family moving forward. And I've done that. And real estate has been the vehicle. And so my passion is to help people create generational wealth through real estate. So
you've been involved 15 years now, came from poverty, abject poverty, and really changed things for yourself, for your family. You have 3 kids. Wife's involved.
Wife's an interior designer. We've flipped dozens of homes. We own several Airbnbs. We've just started getting into commercial, and so we own a couple of commercial properties now, and a couple multifamily. And so anyhow, we're on our way. So
good. Well, great job. Congratulations.
So tell me about you and tell our listeners about who is Stephen Earp, because we connected in 2008, but before that you were already up and running.
Yeah. So Stephen Earp's my name. I bought my first house when I was 19 years old, and my wife and I, my grandparents were real estate investors. My aunts and uncles were developers and agents and things like that. And so my parents were not real estate investors, but much of my family was. So I came by it kind of naturally. It was kind of in my blood, my DNA, my family. So over time, my wife and I, we had 5 kids, and after we bought that first house, we bought another one, and we bought another one, we bought another one. By the time I was probably 33, my wife and I, we had about 35 rentals and 5 kids, and we were kind of rocking and rolling. I was a Christian pastor. I was a pastor of a church for more than 25 years, and I'll get to a little bit. Some things have changed in recent years for me, but so I was doing real estate on the side, and I was in ministry as my kind of full-time job, if you will, and operating these rentals, and we just self-managed most of the time. And so then when I was 33 years old, my wife was diagnosed with this just crazy illness that ended up being debilitating and chronic, and it ended up to where ultimately she was in bed-bound, wheelchair-bound. She had to have help doing everything. She had to have help with eating and drinking and going to the bathroom and all these kind of things. And so what happened is, over time, I started slowly we started laying off construction crews. I couldn't keep up with it. We started liquidating rental properties to pay medical bills. I'm really glad we had the resources to do that.
Right.
And so by 2020, my kids were mostly grown. And on Christmas Eve, 2020, my wife died. And this was after we were married 28 years. And, and we got down to about 3 rental properties. So when she died, I looked up and my kids are grown. My wife is gone. I decided not to continue as a preacher, speaker, pastor at that time in that way. I'm still involved in ministry, but I started turning my efforts back towards trying to rebuild what we had built up over time. So I'm kind of in the season of starting over again. So at age 47, I do have some resources. So I immediately got into wholesaling some houses again, rehabbing some houses again, starting to buy some rentals. Now you and I are investing in commercial real estate together, multifamily together, and we did that together back in the mid 2000s as well. So that's kind of where I am. I'm excited to share the journey. Real estate has changed who I am. It's kind of changed my family tree as well. We've been able to help most of my kids get into their own houses with great deals. And so, I just want to make an impact in the world. And I'm convinced that real estate is the number one way that the average family in the United States can build generational, life-changing wealth that you can pass on to your kids, to your grandkids, and et cetera. So that's a little bit of my story. So I hope to just share some of what I know already and some of what I'm learning now, kind of where we go in the journey, learning new strategies that we're working now that are different from when I was really active before. And so, I'm really, really excited to be on this podcast with you, bro.
Well, I am too. And for the listeners that are wondering where are we going with this thing, where we see this going is, first we want to share, how do you get started? What do you look for? Answer some of these questions, be a resource for people. As we kind of go through some of the things that we've done, I think our journey is we're going to start bringing in other people that specialize or really know a lot about certain areas, and we're going to start learning from them with our listeners as we bring them on and get to interview people in different walks of life in real estate, keeping that the main theme of the vehicle. But as a listener, what we're hoping that you get out of this is the education that you need, the resources to point you in the right direction, and kind of get an idea of, because there's a lot of ways to invest in real estate.
Yep.
And getting that clarity of which path is the best path for someone, one of our listeners. So
absolutely. So we hope that you follow, that you like, comment, and share. Let us know if you have questions that we can address. Feel free to reach out to me or Taylor individually, or message our channels or our page. We will answer as many questions as we possibly can. And if we don't know the answer to one of your questions, we probably know someone that knows the answer. And let us know. Our goal is to make as big of an impact as we can with as many people as possible. And we have not, this is our very first episode that we're releasing publicly. We've been recording these and just playing them on my personal Facebook page.
Right.
But we've already had 2 different people buy rental properties as a result of listening to our program just while we've been preparing. So listen, my dear listener, you can do this. Okay. You can change your family tree. You can build generational wealth in real estate. You can do it. There's no such thing as a bad market. It all has to do with how you invest in whatever the market is that you find yourself in. So give us a subscribe, tell your friends about it, and let us know how we can help you. We look forward to getting to know you guys better. Any closing thoughts, Taylor?
Take action. Don't just listen. Take action. That's it.
Take notes. Take action. We're just a couple of regular dudes. If we can do it, you can do it.
You can do it. 100%.
Thank you guys so much. Give us a follow.